Welcome back to the Back and Forth podcast, episode Dose for our international fans. I know we probably have maybe one or two out there. Got to include everybody, Joe. Come on. My partner is struggling over here a little bit. He doesn't believe we have an international fan base.
Don't put words in my mouth there, buddy.
It's growing, bud.
It's you going out and saying episode dose is the cringiness here. Not that we probably have a diverse amount of listeners.
We probably do.
We do. We definitely do.
And I bet if we didn't say that, they would complain that we're not a international podcast. And they'd start rioting. But anyways, back to the topic at hand. I'm Matt, as always.
Joey.
And today, on this episode, we're going to preview the draft lottery, which takes place within a matter of a couple hours from now, actually. And NBA playoff update, and an update on UNLV basketball. But what do you think, Joe? We start with the lottery first?
So the lottery is here in about an hour or so. Turns out that, the video I showed you wasn't true. For those who don't know, the picks were leaked. The Phoenix Suns had the first, Dallas had the second, and Chicago the third. We can, I guess, put that to the side. It's not true. So that there's still hope for the Knicks to get that first pick. Now, Matt, I got to change my question up here a little bit. Do you think the Knicks get the number one pick tonight? And if they do, what do they do with that first pick? Because they're probably the team that's going to have the most eyes on them this free agency in terms of they have cap space, they have draft picks, do they have assets, do they use that number one pick and try and piece together a trade for Anthony Davis, or do they use that on Zion Williamson and take the risk and go ahead and bet on Zion Williamson, or do they shock everyone and just take R.J. Barrett or John Morant for whatever unknown reason?
I think if the Knicks end up getting the first pick in the draft, they'll keep it and use it on Zion. Obviously, from a business standpoint, it makes a lot of sense. Zion's going to add a lot of revenue to your team, especially with the rumors swirling around that Kevin Durant and possibly even Kyrie Irving are set to join the Knicks in the offseason. That's a very profitable team if you look at it from selling tickets, merchandise, whatnot, getting people to the games. So from a business aspect, I totally understand it, and they should absolutely keep Zion. Not to mention, Zion is a very young and up-and-coming talent, and I think his potential is only getting brighter and higher. I think they would be foolish to try and trade it away for somebody like an Anthony Davis, only because I don't believe the Pelicans would be interested in giving AD away to the Knicks. I think if they were going to choose an Eastern Conference team, it would be more like the Celtics with more draft picks and a little bit more on the veteran player asset side. So, and I've said that all along, if New Orleans is going to do a deal for Anthony Davis, it's going to come out of Boston because they just have way too many assets to not be at least interested in. So if that's the case, Zion is a New York Knick, and I think he stays a New York Knick. Remember, you can pay him a rookie deal, so you're going to save money a little bit on your cap space. It doesn't bite into your payroll, so you still have plenty of cap space to go after Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and that's a pretty good team for, not a ton of money if you think about it.
That's a phenomenal team. Just don't hope Kyrie, when playoff time comes, he's not shooting a 19 of 62 from the field. Or he's shooting 6 of 23 from the field as well.
That's right. We need to see NBA Finals Game 7, Kyrie.
I defended you all year, Kyrie, and you let me down. And now with all this off-season bullcrap, you're no longer my favorite player in the NBA. So you've lost that title. And I'm going to get ready to burn that jersey on July 1st when you depart for... If you definitely go to L.A., I will forever hate you. Yeah. Again, definitely burning that jersey if he goes to... Definitely if he goes to L.A., running and crying back to LeBron. But yeah, the Knicks would have a lot of potential and to do a lot of good things the following season. You just can't hope Kyrie shoots 6 of 21 from the field during the playoffs, and you better hope Zion learns how to shoot the ball and dribble it a little bit as well. But yeah, that's I'll put my bias aside and give the Knicks credit here. Kyrie's a phenomenal player. Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA right now. Sorry, LeBron fans, it's the truth.
One of them's playing in the playoffs.
One of them's playing in the playoffs. One of them's won 2 straight championships, 2 final MVPs. Probably should get MVP consideration. LeBron's not really top 3 in the league, in my opinion, right now.
No, Giannis has passed him.
But we got Giannis, Kawhi, and KD. LeBron fans are absolutely raging right now. They're throwing things at the screen as
They're protesting.
watching us. They're protesting. We are going to have a bounty on our heads because we are not giving LeBron credit right now because his team didn't make the playoffs. But if he didn't get hurt, the Lakers would be in the Western Finals right now.
That's all I've been hearing.
No.
Well, if LeBron didn't get hurt, you know.
They were a 6th seed. They're acting like they were like tied for first place. They were in 6th place, and if they would have lost another game, they would have been out of the picture.
Ooh, you get the 8th seed and get blown out in 5 games by the Warriors.
Ooh. But yeah, the Knicks seem to be going in a new direction since they got rid of Phil Jackson. So I tip my hats off to them. I just hope my Celtics can put out this dumpster fire.
So, moving on from that, we have, speaking of, we kind of touched on this a little bit, we have an update on the NBA playoffs. For those of you that have been living under a rock or closet, or maybe both, you might not have heard, but number 2 up north hit a pretty interesting shot. One that I don't believe anybody else could have recreated, especially if they tried.
And the Celtics got eliminated.
Oh, yeah. We forgot to throw that part in, guys. The Celtics are eliminated. Our producer over here, Alex, was absolutely correct on that one. Us 2 idiots picked Celtics in 5. He picked Bucks in 5. He was right. And
You're supposed to win a championship this year.
So, yeah. But that's okay. It's okay. We got next year.
Blazers beat the Nuggets.
Yeah.
And surprise, I am shocked. The Golden State Warriors beat the Houston Rockets in 6 games.
Are you kidding me?
The playoffs are just crazy this year.
Jeez.
The Warriors are making a run for it. No one saw this coming from the beginning of the summer. I mean, this Warriors team has no depth. They only have 5 All-Stars. Clearly not enough to compete in this NBA. So, very shocked that they are the 1 seed in the West and, probably going to go to the finals and win the thing again. And no one saw that coming.
Yeah.
And they'll probably win this Blazers. Sorry to my friend Will. They'll probably win this Blazer series in about 4 or 5 games as well.
Yeah, again, we were even having this debate a little bit yesterday, you and me, Joe, and you initially, I think, said Blazers might have a chance.
I had said they had a chance to get a game.
A game.
And say win. They had a chance to get
yeah.
a game.
Oh, yeah, I give Portland 1 game.
That's a victory when you're playing the Warriors. If you get a game on them, hold the parade in Portland.
Yeah.
You just won the NBA Finals.
And even, I mean, it sounds bad, but the Trailblazers should hope that Kevin Durant comes back because this is a different Warriors team without Kevin Durant, and it kind of looks a little bit better without him.
What did you say? The Trailblazers should hope?
Yeah, because then maybe you get a game. Because
Why would anyone in the league be like, Kevin Durant, go back to the Warriors, please?
I'm just saying their offense flowed a little more. You saw a more aggressive Steph in Game 6. You saw a more aggressive Clay. The ball seemed to be flowing a little bit better because they're not worrying about getting Kevin Durant shot. Not saying that he's not a good player or anything. He's, like I said, he's arguably the best player in the league right now.
Can I ask you something? Who won the titles who won Finals MVP and who won the championships the past 2 years?
It was Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant?
Yeah.
So what do you think's gonna happen if he comes back?
No, I'm not saying they're not gonna. I'm not saying they're dropping off, but I'm saying they're
not gonna be as Matt. That record was regular season, and they were playing. The Houston Rockets were playing a pissed off Warriors team. For those who don't know, before that game, the Warriors had rented out that court. Steph Curry was out there shooting, and Chris Paul came out and kicked him off the floor. What did Steph Curry say as soon as that game ended? What was he saying in the locker room?
kicked me off the court again.
What did Steph Curry do that game? How many points did he score in the second half?
Scored, I believe, 33.
Who hit the shot to put him up? I believe it was that crazy fadeaway shot with PJ Tucker's hand in his face. It was like 103 to 99 or something like that, and to put him up by 7 points. Who hit that shot?
It was, I believe, Curry.
There you go. That record where Kevin Durant's not on the floor, they're 29-4 in its regular season. When it's like without Curry, they're still just as good. They're a 7'1" monster that literally can pull up from anywhere on the floor, and you're not going to have a chance at blocking him. Everyone is praying for that man to go to the Knicks, Lakers, Clippers, Jazz, Suns,
Anywhere else but
Nuggets,
Golden State.
Rock, wherever the hell. They don't want him back in Golden State. Regardless of the regular season record, they're playing an upset Golden State team. I'm not saying the Warriors are going to fall off, but people have a better chance of beating them if Kevin Durant's not there. That's just the truth.
I don't know. I still, even if they, let's say hypothetically they didn't have Kevin Durant this series, he comes back to finals. I give Warriors.
Not gonna happen
I stay.
So let's see what happens tonight, because they're not going to have them.
I would say I still hold it true that Warriors would close it out in 5. They would get a game because I don't think they could be that consistent for 4 straight games. The Warriors would close them out in 5 with or without Kevin Durant. But obviously, any GM's going to tell you having Kevin Durant on the floor makes you better. I mean, that's just not.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the New York Knicks one. I don't know. He seems kind of a little bit out there and loony, but I don't know. But anyways, conference finals. Like we said, tonight's game, Golden State.
You can talk about the Bucks and Raptors too.
I'm getting there.
Playing. Let's show some love here.
I'm getting there. Give me 1 second. Tonight, for those, like I said, that if you live under a rock, closet, or maybe even both, tonight's game is Blazers playing at the Warriors, and tomorrow night's game is, in fact, the Milwaukee Bucks and Toronto Raptors after Kawhi hit the shot heard around Canada.
DeMar DeRozan was punching the air when that happened.
He's like, man, I had to sit on my couch and watch this shot.
It's like I was talking all that crap all offseason, how they made a mistake, and
I don't think they made a mistake.
I think they made a mistake, buddy.
Yeah.
It's pretty messed up what they did, but they definitely upgraded a lot, getting the new king of the East, Kawhi Leonard. Hopefully the new king. Matt probably doesn't want that to happen so he can come to his Clippers, but
that's the hope, man. We gotta have some hope. But it was a good shot nonetheless. It was something I've never seen before. And really, everybody says this is going to be bad for TV ratings. And technically speaking, I guess I could see that because the way TV ratings work, because Toronto is in Canada, I guess when their viewers view into like TNT or something, they don't necessarily count. It's stupid. It should count, but if you want to be like from an entertainment standpoint, this is going to be a good series. Like you want to pay attention to this. This is going to be Giannis versus Kawhi, primarily. Obviously, you have Malcolm Brogdon back for the Bucks, along with Eric Bledsoe, who I believe is an underrated player. Nobody really talks about him. And come playoff time.
Still on my quote from yesterday?
No, it was a good quote. You were right on it.
Good. I'm messing with you.
I mean, yeah, you can say all you want about Eric Bledsoe in the regular season, but come playoff time, he's a different player.
No, he's a phenomenal player. He's probably one of the main reasons Kyrie Irving was shut down in that second round. Eric Bledsoe was all over him. Giannis Antetokounmpo, who is just very similar to Kevin Durant, unstoppable, can't stop him. Chris Middleton, who has drastically improved since he's gotten into the league. Every time, just get back. He's just like Mirotic. If he has a 3 where he's given the slightest of room, just start running back on defense. It's going in. There's no point of even finishing the closeout or attempting to get the rebound. That ball's going in. So just start running back on defense. And they have a great coach, Mike Dozier, the former Atlanta Hawks coach, who was responsible for the Atlanta Hawks having those couple years of success. Milwaukee's heading in the right direction, and they're heading in the direction to be the kings of the Eastern Conference for a very long time if they can keep this roster together and add a few other solid pieces in place. This is going to be a 6-7 game series. I truly believe. Toronto's a resilient, tough team. You got Kawhi Leonard, Pascal Siakam. If Kyle Lowry can just get hot and pull his head out of his butt, he's a very good player for the Toronto Raptors. Danny Green, if he gets going, or even he's just like Middleton or Mirotic. If you give him an open 3, start running back on defense, that's going in. They also have a very good rookie young head coach, Nick Nurse.
Also got Pascal Siakam.
I said Pascal Siakam.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Also Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol. Playing in both of those arenas is very tough. I believe Milwaukee's only lost 1 game in the playoffs at home so far. I don't think Toronto's lost 1 game as well. So very tough places to play. Milwaukee hasn't lost on the road yet though. So we'll see. It'll be an interesting series.
So,
I got Raptors in 7.
You're gonna go Raptors in 7. I'm gonna go Bucks in 6. And the reason I'm saying this is
Kawhi can come to the Clippers.
No. But staying on the topic of Kawhi, I feel the Raptors go where Kawhi goes. I just can't see Kyle Lowry taking over the team if Kawhi has an off night. I don't think Pascal Siakam is experienced enough to do
He's
that.
been a
He's a
phenomenal
great.
in
He's
the
a great
playoffs.
player. He's a great player.
What are
But
you
I'm
talking
saying,
about?
Kawhi sets the tone. If Kawhi has an off night, I think the Raptors have an off night. Whereas versus Giannis has an off night, you've got
Okay,
other
so-
guys. You got Eric Bledsoe that can produce some. You got Malcolm Brogdon, who is a big addition. That kind of hurt him a little bit when he was out of the lineup because it really was like the Giannis show. But you now have another All-Star back in your lineup. Like you said, Mirotic is a known three-point shooter along with Middleton. So, I think from a depth standpoint, Milwaukee has the advantage here, and that's probably what's going to carry them to a series win. It's like I do agree with you. It's going to be a 6 or 7 game series. I'd be very shocked to see it end any sooner, but I think Milwaukee, with not losing on the road, that continues, and they close it out in 6 games on the road.
Very good point, and let's close it out here with UNLV basketball. For those who don't know, pretty interesting couple days in terms of news for UNLV basketball. And Cheick Mbacke Jong announced he was returning to the program. 7.7 rebounds, 2 blocks a game as a sophomore last year. His game has only gotten better since his freshman season. He had the last year wasn't really a breakout year, but it was a huge step up. He was more mobile in the post. He was a shot blocker. He's crashing the boards. He was looking like a safer bet than Brandon McCoy, if I kind of get what I'm saying there.
Mm-hmm.
So him coming back, he needs a big man desperately, and him coming back fills that void. So you have now him and Cheick Dembele as your primary bigs next season. You have Elijah Long, Texas transfer, who announced that he was committing to the program today. Immediately eligible grad transfer. I'd expect him to be the team's starting point guard and Amari playing the 2 next year, or maybe he's coming off the bench. And then you have David Jenkins, who's expected to make his college decision between Oregon, Gonzaga, UNLV, and South Dakota State within, I believe South Dakota State's out of the running, but he's expected to make a decision here within the next few days. The visit with UNLV went great, so hopefully, he's rocking the scarlet and gray next season. And then you have scheduling news. You have UNLV will be having a home-and-home series with UCLA. They'll be playing in Westwood next year in 2020-2021. We'll be here in Las Vegas. They have BYU on the road next year. They have Cal on the road next year. And then they'll have Cal coming back to Vegas the following year. And then they have BYU. Did I say BYU already? They have Cincinnati on the road next year. So we won't get into the scheduling really because I doubt anyone cares that much about the schedule. How big is it for UNLV to keep Mbacke Jong and to get a commitment from Elijah Long? And how much bigger will it be for them if they're able to secure David Jenkins Jr.?
Well, it's big on Mbacke Jong because what it does is it gives UNLV a post presence. And I understand TJ Otzelberger's system of run up and down, shoot threes, and just shoot as many threes as you can, as kind of like almost like a shoot three first type of approach. But for the program's sake, for UNLV fans' sake, and for everybody's sake in general, please do not have Mbacke Jong shooting threes.
I think he's capable.
I'm not saying he's not capable, but God, if he's shooting threes, I feel like that takes away from him possibly getting offensive rebounds down low, and being that dominant post presence that he's worked really hard in becoming, and that's really, I think, the core of how he was able to improve so much is he finally figured out how to play post defense. He even had some really nice rundown blocks last year, as we saw. Really honed in on becoming a skilled big man. Just keep working on his strengths. Don't try and, add another element to his game. I mean, obviously, if it's open and nobody's going to come out and contest it, and he's practiced a little bit on it, I'm not going to, say don't shoot it. But, I mean, if the main goal for Mbacke Jong is shoot threes first, he's going to be in serious trouble.
Oh, yeah. I think he's capable of doing it. We saw him, flit around with some jump shots last year. I saw a couple of those go in. He's, like I say, he's very mobile down there. I think he's more than capable of doing it, but I think he's more stronger being a post presence and playing in the paint. So I think that's where TJ, and being that shot blocker as well, I think that's where TJ Otzelberger needs to have him doing down there in the post. Now, they have Elijah Long committing.
Mm-hmm.
how much bigger will it be if David Jenkins Jr. decides to sign with the Running Rebels?
Well, I think it's obviously big that they got Elijah Long, add some more depth. I see him coming off the bench maybe behind Amari. I just feel like this is Amari's team, and he's going to be the leader of this team. Maybe you slide Long into the 2 spot. Maybe I just can't see Amari being. I just can't see Amari playing 2. That's the thing, especially if he's going to be the leader of
Played
this
2
team.
last year. It seems like to me he's better than. This is just my opinion. Amari's better at the 2. He's better creating plays for himself than other players. In high school, this dude averaged 30 points a game. We saw last year once the few games that Menzies let him be a scoring machine. He's better at creating plays for himself. Just like I think Hamilton can play the 3 as well. And you put small ball. I think that's the direction. Basketball is getting positionless at this point. I think I would love to see a lineup of Elijah Long at the 1, Hardy at the 2, Hamilton at the 3, Blair at the 4, and Mbeke Jong at the 5. Shooters almost from the 1 and 4. You have guys that can shoot from anywhere on the floor. You can go out there and run. They're good defensively. To me, from what I've seen, Hardy's better playing at the 2. He's better creating, and this is not like a direct shot at him. It's probably more of a compliment. He's better at creating shots for himself than others. To me, he's just not a true point guard. He's more of a shooting guard. And Elijah Long is that true point guard that UNLV needs.
Well, that's true. I mean, the few times we did see Amari play point guard, it was the dribble show.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was more in high school. Yeah, he was playing more shooting guard in high school, so I think that's the position he's probably more comfortable with.
Yeah, and I mean, being the scoring machine fits Otzelberger's system fairly well. Again, for those that might not know, this is the same coach that set the record for most points in a half.
91 points and a half.
Granted, it was against a D2 school, but
Marvin Menzies
nonetheless.
couldn't even score 91 points on a D2 school in a full game. So.
Exactly. Maybe in 2 games combined.
Yeah, maybe 2 games he'd get that combination.
Yeah,
Maybe.
You might get
3
that.
definitely, but
You
not
might
2
get-
maybe.
You mean that three-piece combo? That came-
Bucks combo.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like his Canes cards. Ain't right.
We love Marvin though, kind of.
He's a nice guy.
We-
I'll give him that. Marvin's a nice guy. I just don't think he was a good fit here at
We
UNLV.
love to poke at him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So
Nice dude, but this wasn't a good fit at UNLV.
But yeah, it definitely should be interesting. I'm excited to hear where Jenkins decides to commit. You know, if he commits here, I still believe he would be eligible to practice. I'm not exactly
Yes,
sure on
he
that,
can
but
practice.
if that's the case, he really would be a great practice player for them. Gives them some more competition to go up against in practice. And then obviously you talk about the year after that, maybe UNLV gets this thing figured out even more, adding Jenkins to the lineup.
If Hardy just doesn't go pro and Hamilton's still around, I wouldn't anticipate them going pro. But you never know. Hardy could have a breakout year, and he could get NBA attention, and Hamilton could have a breakout year and get NBA attention. I personally doubt it, but a big 3 of Hamilton, Hardy, and Jenkins Jr. will be unstoppable. in the Mountain
Absolutely.
West.
So, exciting times here in the sports world. We got playoff basketball. We've got guys committing in college basketball. So, stay tuned.
Water polo playoffs. It's
Oh,
going
yeah.
crazy right now.
Holding it down, man. But stay tuned for more content. We are going to be giving you guys more content more frequently. So, stay tuned to our YouTube channel. Any last words for them?
Same as you. Appreciate you guys listening, and stay tuned.
Thanks.